Hey there. Good morning. We'll kind of let the live stream catch up with me. Sometimes there's actually a few second delay here. But we should be live right now. So welcome to the JeepSolid Garage. If you're new to these live streams, Wednesday mornings, 9 a.m., I like to do a quick live stream. Gives me a chance to connect with viewers. We chat a little bit. You guys watch me work on a project. It's kind of fun, so grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and we're going to tackle this thermostat here. I'm just making sure that, that we're up and running here. We should be, but I like to pull it up on my tablet here so I can make sure. So yeah, like I said, this is my Wednesday morning live streams, but then also catch me on Fridays at noon Pacific time. All these times are Pacific. I release, yeah, see my tablet's doing the wheel of death. Yeah, so frustrating. Fridays at noon, I release my edited repair video. So today, we're working on the thermostat. This is my 92YJ, the one I did the engine rebuild on. There it goes. But let's make sure we got, come on. There we go. Okay, we got audio. We are up and running. So we got a couple people here. Alan, Ron, good morning. So this is the 92YJ that I did the engine rebuild on, got everything back together. It runs great. But I noticed a leak. Right down here, we're split screen, yeah. Right down here at the thermostat housing. Okay, I got the live chat. So the live chat's popping up on the screen, which I don't know, I think that's fine. Kind of cool. So right where the thermostat housing here attaches to the head, I'm getting a little bit of dribble of coolant. So I got a coolant leak going on here, and it'll drip. You know, if I run it, it'll drip down onto the floor. So I need to replace that. It kind of puddles up on top of the water pump down here just a little bit, and some of those little wells down there. So that's where we're leaking right there. And so I thought this would be a fun, because I've done, you know, thermostats before, I thought it'd be fun to see how fast we can bust this out. I'm gonna get going here, and I'm just gonna run right through it real quick. I'll be kind of talking about what I'm doing as I'm going along, but I just want to kind of show a live example of like, how long does it take to replace, if you're doing a thermostat, how long does it take to replace it from start to finish? I think I could do it in under an hour. I don't know. We'll have to see how this goes. One funny saying is, yeah, what is it? Like any 20-minute job is one broken bolt away from a 3-day ordeal. And that could very well be the case right here. So grab a cup of coffee. Let's get started. I'm going to time this. We're going to see how quick we can get this done. And it is 9:04. We'll say we're going to start at 9:05. We'll start the clock at 9:05. I've got some of my supplies set out. I'm just kind of ready to go. Let's see, my live chat. Let me try to bring that back up because there's more. Wait, where are we? Live chat. There we are. All right, I got you guys on screen here. So let's get going. First thing I'm going to do, I've got my negative battery terminal loose already. I'm going to just disconnect that because it's a good habit to be in when you're working on a vehicle. Even though we're not anywhere near the starter. Wrenches fall, funny things happen. And it's 9:05, so let's go. I'm going to disconnect the sensor right here. Going to the thermostat. Ooh, step 3. So 1, 2. Step 3, I'm going to start draining the coolant. I'm actually going to save the coolant, so I got a clean bucket underneath here. I need a wrench on that. I think this petcock works just fine. Let's check it out here. Actually, this petcock, I can actually do by hand because this is a new radiator. There we go. It's draining slowly. Let's see if I pop the cap here, if it picks it up a little bit. Picks up the pace a little bit. Oh yeah. We're draining good now. So yeah, I got a clean bucket under there. So I'm going to be saving this coolant because this coolant is still in good shape. Boy, it's creating a vacuum right here. How funny. Wow, that's crazy. I've never had that. It's like making the cap hard to take. There we go. We're gonna drain that coolant a bit. Now we're gonna remove the serpentine belt, accessory belt. I don't know, what do you guys like to call that? Let's see here. Drive belt. It's one thing about working on vehicles. So many parts have so many different names that it can be confusing. One guy will call it one thing, somebody else will call it something else. Let's see, 9:05, we're 2 minutes in. We got coolant draining. So right on the bottom of your power steering pump right here, yeah, I need an extension on this. Where's my little extension? And I'm not going to drain all the coolant, just enough to get the coolant level down under the level of the thermostat there. So underneath the water pump right here, or I'm sorry, not water pump, power steering pump, there's a little locking bolt. You just kind of see where I'm working. That locks the tensioner on this belt. One thing I learned last time I did the thermostat on my other YJ, I thought, oh, I can do it with leaving the belt on. Thermostat's right there, no problem. But turns out that was the wrong answer. It was a huge, huge pain having that belt in the way. And by the time I got into it, I was too far in to go back. Like I was committed. So now I want to back this guy off. So then on the back side here, where is it? Down there. Oh, actually this guy I think I can get better from the bottom. Stupid work. Who's that? Oh, JeepSolid. Wow. Am I moving that tensioner? Huh. That must be immensely strong. I'm moving that tensioner bolt by hand. Okay, now we gotta, and these bolts I'm working on right now are 13 millimeter. So let's loosen, let's get the tablet out of the way. These are 13 millimeter. There's a couple bolts on the back side here. On the power steering pump, we gotta loosen these guys so we can slide the power steering pump to loosen up the belt. And yeah, like I said, I didn't do this last time and it was a huge pain trying to work around that belt. So if you are doing your thermostat, fixing a leak, yeah, I highly recommend removing the belt. You can do it without removing it, but it's a pain. Where's my second bolt? Right down there. And that guy, gosh, you know what? Make it a little easier on myself. We're gonna take this air box out of the way too. just for a little more room. Oh, one more tab. You know what? The coolant drained like, what is that, a gallon or two? Looks like it's slowing down and stopping, which is fine. So that's the coolant out of the rad. So that'll be enough. Get this air box out of the way. Come on. Come on, we're on a time limit here. Ah, there we go. See, something like that. Make it a lot easier on yourself. All right. Second bolt on the back side of the power steering pump. Right down here. Loosen this guy. So yeah, last time I did the thermostat, didn't have to do any of this, but I ended up ultimately regretting that because it was just a pain. So go through the trouble of taking the belt off. There we go, does that loosen it up? There we go. Look at that. Okay, now put my rad cap back on there. Where are we at here? We're backing this bottom, this tensioner bolt off. Need to pull up the chat, see what's going on. I like that. I like this view because I can see live, like real time what I'm doing, where this is delayed a little bit. But the neat thing about this is I can say, hey, good morning, So yeah, we got JeepSolid, Jeep Freak Garage is here. And the belt, you can draw a picture of how the belt goes on. It's a good idea if you're not comfortable with, you know, putting it back on yourself. It's a good idea to either take pictures or draw a little diagram of how that belt wraps around. To me, in my brain, it only goes on one way, so I'm not really super worried about mixing it up. Coolant is drained. I'm going to close the petcock. If you have issues with your petcock, don't fight it. Just go over to the hose on the, oh shoot. Yeah, see, like I just heard a snap down here. Like, ooh, I hope I didn't crack the petcock. That's the issue working with those little petcocks is they break. Or they rust and cause problems. Oh boy, I sure hope that one's okay. If not, I'll throw some JB weld on it and just seal it up. All right, where are we at? Wrench on the ground. Okay, so we're taking the thermostat housing off. This is gonna dribble. I don't really care. It's gonna dribble some coolant, but oh well. I don't like this style of clamp because you can't tighten it. I prefer the adjustable hose clamp where you can tighten it to your liking. This other spring type, it's like one size, that's it. We can get that out of the way. What is that? It's not 3/8, is it? No. $5.16. We're moving fast. Can you guys tell I'm moving faster than normal? So, want to get this done in a timely manner. And where are we at? We're 16 minutes in. And we're going to have this housing off within 16 minutes, but actually I started at 9:05, so we're 11 minutes in. So 15 minutes, I'm going to have the housing off. Maybe. Just trying to break our hoses loose without tearing them. Come on. There we go. There's number one. Sometimes if you just kind of grab them and twist on them a little bit, kind of breaks it loose. And this, I kind of enjoy showing new people that aren't used to working on their vehicles, just how not hard a lot of this stuff is. Just takes some research and a little bit of time. Yeah, but yeah, you got to put the effort in of just kind of learning, but it's not hard. Believe me, this is not my profession. So you'll see how a normal dude fumbles through it. I'm just kind of thinking about where I'm at here. Sometimes when I try to go fast, I end up missing something like, oh, you dummy, you forgot to disconnect that. Oh yeah. These little magnetic trays, super handy. I'm gonna bring my chat over. One thing I do like about the tablet, I can have it sitting here and see what you guys are saying. Let's see, good morning everybody. Hola, podrás aludar. Yeah, I'm not sure what that means. Is anyone else rooting for him to run into trouble so we can feel better about when our own engine repairs go south? It ain't rocket surgery. Rocket surgery, that's right. Yeah, honestly, I don't know. For some reason, I was pretty confident about this job just going smooth. Oh, let's stop that. What am I doing? We're on a time limit. We got to use electricity. You got one shorter bolt. Yeah, gosh, I need to clean that up. That's going to slow me down. And a longer one down underneath here. And this is the one that was a huge pain with keeping the belt on. Oh no. Oh, whew. Okay. Yeah, I got those backwards because I'm going so fast. I thought this bottom one, I was like, oh no, it just broke off. Because it came out just a little bit, like, oh, that's it. I'm like, oh, shoot. Yeah, longer one on top, shorter one on bottom. But you'll figure that out because it only goes together one way. Boom. There we go. So we are, 15 minutes in. I got the thermostat out. Boom. Let me drain this into my bucket. There's just a little spit full of goo in there. So this is your thermostat for anybody watching this video for the first time and you're new at repairs. This is that itch on my nose. So this is just a mechanical device that controls your heating and cooling. As it heats up, it just opens up and lets coolant flow into your radiator. I am not replacing the thermostat. There's nothing wrong with this one. I'm just replacing this gasket. because whoever did this last must not have done a great job because it leaked on us. A little too much RTV right there. Try to be a little gentler with the RTV there. And that's going to be the painful part, is trying to clean up that gasket surface, but let's do it. Thermostat's off. Boom. I gotta clean that goop off of that. All right, who else we got here? Let's see. Is that Rodolfo? Yeah, I can't understand what you're saying. Not really, Bronco. I know the suffering when something goes wrong. Aquatics is here. Finally got the YJ through inspection. Thanks to your ball joint and U-joint. Bushings were all bad. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, I got some bad bushings on my tie rods. I need to do tie rods on my JK. I'm getting some wobble. A little bit of wobble that I need to take care of. I'm just cleaning off this putty knife. And yeah, you want to be careful using these metal putty knives on your head. This is a cast iron head, so it doesn't scratch super easily, but you don't want to gouge it. I'm also going to put a paper towel, because you guys know how I like to lose paper towels and napkins inside of engines. That might help keep some of the debris out, because I just don't want this RTV and junk getting down inside the engine. What I'm talking about losing paper towels and napkins down in engines, when I was doing a compression test. Was it the compression test or leak down test? I don't want this falling down into my clean coolant either. Move this out of the way. Yeah, I think I was doing the leak down test, and a piece of napkin, I was trying to show, or I was trying to demonstrate air blowing out of one of the cylinders, and I think because the head was cracked wide open, or the head gasket was cracked pretty bad. Created some weird vacuum, and it sucked the napkin right into the cylinder. It's like, what? That is not, I'm putting compressed air into that cylinder. It's not supposed to suck a napkin in. But sure enough, that's what happened. You guys can see what I'm doing. Yeah. Do you guys like the two camera view? And do you like the, is the chat popping up on the screen? I thought it was. Yeah. Rudolfo? Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and translate your stuff. I don't know what you're saying. Or if you want to comment live so we can understand exactly what you're saying, you could use like a Google Translator and translate what you're saying into English, and then just paste that into the chat. So I won't be able to see what you're saying until later when I go back and look. It's actually cleaning up pretty good. Looks not terrible. That's our goal, right? Not terrible. A little bit of RTV right back there. You want this surface, because our goal is to not leak. And if your surface is not in good shape, you're going to leak. I do like taking a wire wheel to this, which I'm not sure if I want to do or not. I like it to be sparkly clean. I don't want any residue on there. What does that light do to the image? So yeah, this is where my coolant leak was. What was it? Oh yeah, after I did the head gasket, I was worried about having a coolant leak on my other Jeep. I went all through all the work of doing the head gasket, and then I saw some coolant dripping, and I was like, oh no. Is the head gasket leaking? Are you serious? But no, it wasn't. It was just leftover coolant that I had spilled out, so. But I did have a moment of panic. This is the boring part. I hate cleaning gasket surfaces, but it's essential. That looks pretty good. Also got to clean the gasket off of this guy. Yeah, we got a little too much RTV down here because this channel is supposed to be open. Trying to do this in a spot where you guys can see. Normally I would take this outside. You know, I might still do that. Yeah, I'm going to do that because I gotta clean up those bolts, or I want to clean up those bolts. So there you go. Should look like that. It shouldn't have RTV down in there. So we got a little carried away with the RTV there. Let's because I need to clean those bolts off, the threads off of them. We're going to move operations here a little bit and take our camera that way a skosh. We're going to go out the side shop door. We're going to grab a sip of coffee. Because I gotta hook up I've got a brass wheel on this. And this will make it a lot quicker. Oh. There's Toots. Yeah, you guys can still see. And I'm just gonna clean up this thermostat housing. The thermostat and these bolts real quick like. Hey Toots. Ah. This will make it go much faster. Yeah, not my favorite part of Jeep repairs, but it's essential to clean up parts as you're going along. Threads on that bolt are good. I'm gonna grab a pair of pliers to hold this bolt because it's a short little guy. And we're just getting the goo off of it, the thermostat. Get a little RTV on this guy from, yeah gosh, when I did this I got carried away with RTV, it looks like. Got carried away with RTV and it still leaked. Go figure. There we go. But if you're doing your thermostat, obviously, this is the time where you just want to replace your thermostat. But this thermostat is fairly new. No issues with it. It works just fine. So it's getting reused. Just getting all the little bits of my gasket maker RTV. There's a few little spots where it shouldn't be. Well, not where it shouldn't be, just where it would seat down into the head. Just want to make sure that's clean. Now our housing. Now this housing is aluminum, so you got to be a lot more careful with using brushes on it. This is a brass brush. Which is a little softer. It's funny, that one little section I can't, have to do that guy by hand. Let's see, where's my scraper and my brush? This is the non-glamorous part of Jeep repairs. Cleaning stuff up, making it look pretty. And yeah, I learned that doing my engine rebuild. When I thought I was going to just clean the engine myself, oh my gosh. Yeah, quickly learned, like, yeah, that's not worth it. Pay the shop to do that. And I did, and it was the best, what, I think $80. Because, yeah, I would have spent hours and hours and hours cleaning that and not done a great job. How are we doing on time? We're like, what, 25 minutes in? Because remember, I started at 9:05 on the actual work. Okay, that looks good. A little bit of RTV right there. Come off of there. Okay. Oofta. Brake cleaner. Brake part cleaner. Spray that guy off because we want nice clean surfaces. Oh yeah. That looks good. You guys think this is going to leak again? After I'm done with this repair? Yeah, we'll see, huh? Gosh, I'm trying to decide if I want to take a wire wheel to this or not. I don't think so. If I clean it off with some brake cleaner, we'll be okay. Let's see. How many we got? We got 24 live right now. R Flare says, good. I need a thermostat in my Jeep, not closing. When you change the thermostat, be careful of the thermostat cap. I broke his when changing. Did you? Good evening, Dale. Regards from Russia. Bilstein, 5100. You broke mine. Well, you didn't really break mine. I thought you just kind of marked up the back side or something. Like, it still worked fine. It wasn't, I don't think you cracked it. All right, let me move the camera back into position. There we go. All right, timelines continuing. Go, go, go. Let's hit this with a little brake clean. See if I'm happy enough with that surface. Need some more brake clean. That's running low. Nice, clean, shiny surfaces. What you want. It doesn't have to be shiny, but it has to have all debris off of it, and oils and RTV and whatnots. You gotta get the whatnots off of it. Okay. Let's inspect. Throw these outside because I don't want to smell them. I'm just kind of double checking. I think that's just discolored. I'm just going to take my glove off here. I'm taking the gloves off. Uh-oh, watch out, gloves are coming off. Which one? This one. That's my brake cleaner. Yep. Whew. Yeah, I'm just feeling, yeah. I think that's good. I think we are good and clean. Took my glove off just so I could feel a little bit better. Because I don't want this to leak again. Yeah, that looks good, feels good. I'm happy with that. I'm characteristically late. Had some stuff come up at the office. Come on, Jake, you got to tell your office, like, hey, I have a commitment at 9 o'clock on Wednesday mornings. Schedule yourself just a routine every week meeting. Like, put it on your work calendar so the rest of your office knows, like, oh yeah, Jake's always busy at 9 o'clock on Wednesdays with some meeting or event he has to do. I don't know really what it's about, but something he's got to do at 9 o'clock every Wednesday. Set a work calendar reminder. Okay, we've got our new thermostat housing gasket. It's going to go on something like, boom, something like that. And it says in the instructions to put RTV on both sides of it. And yeah, some people have mentioned, like, why, you know, what's the point of the gasket if you're using RTV, you know, on both sides? In which, yeah, like, I agree. What is the point of the gasket? It's a good question. If you got RTV, what's the point of the gasket? I don't know. It's because the instructions say to. Some good RTV, just cleaning the goop out of the end. Let's get some RTV on this guy, and I'm going to try to not go crazy with it. But you need RTV on all these edges because these are two separate areas. This hole is open all the time. This one is controlled by your thermostat. The one that's open all the time allows coolant to go to your heater core. while your Jeep is just still warming up, but your thermostat's not open. So I'm trying to get just a real thin layer on here. Real thin. And I will be sure to, I'll hop back online and update the description of this video and put thermostat housing, new thermostat, all the supplies that you need to do a complete thermostat job. I'll link all those in the description below, what fits on these YJs. It looks pretty good, pretty uniform, not too thick. Just a very thin layer. I know it looks like a lot of goop, but honestly that's pretty darn thin. Now this guy goes bloop. Need a rag. Okay. Now it says put our TV on the other side. And what's the point of the gasket? Yeah. I don't know, maybe it gives it a backing, little some firmness to it. I don't know. Yeah, it's a good question. But the repair manuals, that's what it says. According to, what is it, my Haynes and Chilton. I'm not sure if I've checked the Chilton manual. I do prefer the Haynes manual. If you don't have those, yeah, I really recommend getting them. I did mine in the parking lot this winter when it was overheating. A pocket knife, little toolkit, a short walk to AutoZone. It's still good, though not as pretty. Nice. Yeah, dang. Does not sound like a fun job to do in a parking lot in the winter, not at home. Yeah, this is nice in the comfort of my shop. Got the tools, you guys to hang out with. Working on this together, got my hot coffee. Yeah, this is easy, huh? Okay, that's all lubed up nicely. Or RTV'd. Good old RTV. Now, getting RTV all over. New thermostat. It's gonna set in like so. But that's sitting in there nicely. When you do set your thermostat in there, you gotta make sure it doesn't slip out and slide down like that. You will crack your housing when you start bolting it down. Thermostat nicely in the hole, so it's flush. Having the belt out of the way makes this so much easier. Let's do the top bolt first, I guess. And I just did. Oh, things are falling apart. Oh, where'd that bolt go? Where are you? Seriously, where'd it go? What the heck? Are you kidding? All right. So I lost one of the thermostat housing bolts. The big one. The heck? Where did it go? Did it fall onto... Oh, there it is. Good grief. Tuh. There you go. There's the reality of live streaming repairs. Real life stuff happens. I found it. I lost one of my manifold bolts. It dropped down under the engine. I heard it hit, like I had some cardboard underneath. I heard it hit the cardboard, like, and I had it on video. Went back and watched it on video, and you can hear it like tunk, like that distinct cardboard sound. Could not find it anywhere. Searched my entire garage floor, nothing. Ended up buying some new manifold. It was the washer that goes over the manifold. Those big kind of cone-shaped washers. There's, I think, 11 of them. Had to go back and buy a new one and just kind of put off my project a little bit, which was fine. I ended up finding that washer later on. I organized a lot of my stuff in little egg cartons, and it like bounced on it and like went inside of it. So later on, I opened up the egg carton and there it was. But yeah, things disappear. Okay, now let's gently set this down in here without touching anything, lining it up, making sure that thermostat stays in place. Kind of thread that top guy in. Let's try to get this bottom one in. Where are we at? Trying not to monkey it around too much and smear things too much. I wonder if I've got some RTV. Yeah, I can turn that by hand, but it's just kind of snug. That top one. Like, I'm not super thrilled with how it feels. I put my cap back on my RTV. Let's just test this top guy here. What are we at? We're at 9:48. So we're like almost 45 minutes. It's starting to get dark. It starts pouring. I'm racing to put bolts in. Boom, hail. Oh, man. Yeah, gosh, I haven't had... I'm getting good at dropping stuff down underneath. I'm gonna be a pro at that. Yeah, that sounds like a miserable experience. But you got it done, right? But yeah, it's definitely not like working on this. Sunny, 70 degrees out, you're in the shop, all your tools at your disposal, all the supplies, no problems. It's like, yeah, you can do the thermostat in an hour if you've got everything right there and you don't run into any big problems. I wish they would design it so these fan blades, you could just pop them off, get it out of the way. So many times the dumb little fan blades just in my way. So I'm just kind of snugging this down a bit, and we'll see what the torque specs are on it. A little bit of blue RTV. You see that blue RTV just tiny bit squeezing out? I think that looks cool. Blue RTV, like, wow, look at that. Okay, yeah, these thermostat housing, it does not get torqued tight. Let's see. Haynes Manuel. Let's a little sip of coffee. What would this be called? Thermostat 3.3. If you don't have a Haynes manual, get one. Super helpful. Torque specs 4.0, thermostat housing, 156 inch-pounds. 156. Let's see here. Where's my little inch-pound? Inch-pounds. Let's get this up to, where's 100? Wait, we gotta go up to 150. Clear up there. There's numbers on this aren't great. It's like you can almost see them. So there's 140. So that's going to be 150. And that's going to be 156. Right there. I've used similar gloves on the submarines for radiological controls. Submarines, wow, cool. I have never been on a submarine. Never ever. Where is my adapter? There it is. We're at 26 people. Oh yeah, it's COVID. I'm gonna torque these guys. There we go. There we go. Alrighty. And when you store your torque wrench, back it back off. Don't leave your torque wrench stored under tension. So back it off to 0. Alright. Put my adapter back. What else do we got? So that's curing, torqued, thermostat's in place, everything's hooked up nice. It looks great. Let's hook hoses back up. What are we at? We are like 50 minutes in. So I don't know if that's, you know, doing this job in an hour, if that's fast or not. For me, that's fast. Normally jobs like this take me forever. Where's my little socket? What guy was that? It was 5/16, wasn't it? This was just one of those projects that needed to be done. It's just a little leak, a slow leak. Not terrible. Like honestly, I could have driven the Jeep, still driven it with it. It just dribbles a little bit, but it's one of those nagging things that just kind of needed to be done. So I thought, hey, I'll do it live with my community. Hook our hoses back up. This is one of those clamps that I do not really like. Wrench, pliers. Ah. And the reason I don't like this is there's just no adjustment to it. It's on or off. And I have had other hoses where like, oh, it's leaking a little bit. Tighten the clamp, solved it. And solved it for years. Not like, oh yeah, that hose is bad. Like, no, like it just needed to be tightened up a little bit. That was my other YJ. think it was one of the bottom, it was the, let's see, this is the, what? That'd be the return down there. So it was the return hose, the bottom hose. And I just tightened up the clamp a little bit, solved my problem. Okay, gonna hook our sensor back up. Boom, all right, 50 minutes in, thermostat is installed. Let's get my tablet out of the way. Oh, I gotta do the hose, or the belt. Oh. There's one thing I didn't have to do last time I did this on my other Jeep. Is now a fight with the belt. Oh. But man, that one's so much smoother taking the belt off. Just way easier. 47 times easier with the belt out of the way. There we go. Let's see, under the vibration damper, alternator, pulley, over the fan, around there, that all looks good. I think we can start tightening this up. See, I wonder if I could do this job in an hour. If I wasn't filming, or I don't know, because I've been going pretty fast. I've been going pretty fast and talking with you guys, but I don't know if honestly I could go much faster. You know, if I wasn't filming. A lot of times filming slows me down, but mostly just focused on the project right now. Talking with you guys, but so we're going to work on the tension on this. Okay. The tensioning of these can be a bit of a pain because you don't want it too tight. So if you get the belt too tight, then it can damage. I'm not really tightening this guy yet, I'm just taking the play out. Let's see, that'll be tightened. If you get the belt too tight, you damage your bearings on your pulleys and stuff. If it's too loose, then you end up with squeaks and slipping. Okay, those guys are still loose. I just wanted to be able to adjust the tension on this. And that's still a little too loose. We're going to tighten it up. And I kind of know by feel, because I've done this enough times, of how this Jeep would feel, like the right tension on the belt. I actually have I do have a video on replacing the belt though, so. And putting a straight edge, you put a straight edge across here and then look for the deflection by pushing down with just a moderate amount of pressure and how far the belt dips, how far down you can push it. So if you need help on tensioning your belt, go check out that video. You can just search on my channel. Yeah, that feels pretty good. And when you do it enough, you kind of learn what feels right. So now I can tighten that locking bolt on the bottom. So I got the tensioner adjusted. extension on that. And this bottom bolt just locks your tensioner in place so it doesn't move on you. So it doesn't slowly like back itself out. There you go. Now we can tighten the rest of these guys down. And these ratcheting socket or ratcheting wrenches, box-in wrenches, oh man, these things are so cool. And that's the advantage of doing work yourself. You save so much money. I've saved thousands and thousands of dollars. So you can use that money to invest in some tools. So if you're new at this, you're new at doing repairs, your Jeep needs a brake job, yeah, do it yourself. You'll save yourself $300-400, and then take that $300 or $400 in savings, buy $100 worth of tools, put the other $200-300 and invest it in something. Invest it in some mutual funds or something like that. And then you just eventually build up your arsenal of tools. Okay, that wasn't so bad. The belt out of the way. Coolant. Sweet. We're cruising here. Where are we at in timeline? I'm an electrician and I hate wiring in cars too much. Yeah. Oh, me too. My other this YJ. Yeah, there's all kinds of wiring issues. Let's see, I'm an electrician, I hate wiring in cars. Too much wire, not enough documentation. Yeah, I feel you there. This YJ actually has some wiring issues with turn signals and like the marker lights, like, you know, ground issues. It has all kinds of little, I'm not sure if the turn signals even work. The headlights work and the taillights work. That's the important part. But a lot of the wiring, do the windshield wipers work? Yeah, I'm not sure. There's a lot of little wiring issues and I don't want to dig into it. I'm probably going to just sell it as is and like tell the new owner, like, yeah, the turn signals, you know, you're going to have to check into the wiring on that. And da, da, da. Like, yeah, because I don't want to. I need a funnel. Let's see. There's a dirty funnel. Grab a cleaner. I think I got a better one over here. Oh. Yeah, there we go. Cleaner, better funnel. Because I think we're back to the point where we can put coolant in this. And yeah, that RTV is not set yet. So I'm going to let this, you know, I'm probably going to stop and have some lunch, you know, wait a couple hours. Why do I hear water running? Huh. Okay, clean funnel. Let's add some coolant. And yeah, this coolant that I'm using is still good. Obviously, if your coolant is dirty, that petcock is closed, hoses are all back on. I'm going to reuse this because it is just fine, and I put it into a clean bucket. It's good, clean looking coolant. You guys can almost see what I'm doing, huh? It's like you can, oh, yeah, this is live. There we go. See, that's what I'm doing. I finished up lunch, fried shrimp and hush puppies. Hush puppies? What are hush puppies? You're eating puppies? That's terrible. Kind of glancing down at the petcock down below, making sure it's not leaking. Surprised this is taking this much. I figured it would overflow. Oh, there we go. There we go. I figured it would overflow because I don't have coolant running in. Oh, where are we dripping? Right down there. There we go. Because, yeah, there's no coolant. I gotta get coolant into the head and then through these hoses and stuff still. So, back up this camera. There we go. A little wider shot. So I do have extra coolant, but all I have to do now is hook up the negative battery and start it up, top off the coolant, warm up the engine to operating temperature. So let me kind of explain for if somebody is like brand new at this stuff. I know a lot of you guys know how this works, but if you're brand new at this, like don't be afraid of like doing these jobs yourself. It's really not that hard. That's one of the things I've found I really enjoy is like helping new people with projects like this, just giving them the confidence to do it themselves, showing they can save a ton of money, making it easier on them. So right now I'm pretty much done, right? I'm filling it back up with coolant, the thermostat's done. So the next thing I have to do is burp the system. So now we have air in the system. If you have one of those fancy funnels that goes on here like JeepSolid has, that's great, but you don't have to have one. They're convenient, but not mandatory. What I'm gonna do is fill this up with coolant, and you can just fill it up so this is to the top. And then we're gonna start the Jeep up, and we're gonna watch the coolant level right here. And as the thermostat, when the engine gets up to operating temperature, the thermostat here is gonna open up, and then it's gonna pull, it's gonna allow coolant to flow through the engine and the radiator at the same time, and more air is going to come out because we got air in the head of the engine now because we had the thermostat off, right? So when that thermostat opens up, it's going to let that air come out, and that'll be the burping, and then we're just going to have to warm it up for 5 or 10 minutes or so, and I'll just be topping this off as it's pulling coolant in. This is the return line, so hot coolant is coming back here, and then it sucks it in from down below into the water pump to the engine. So if I just keep topping this off as the engine's warming up, then we're golden. I'm gonna let this, I'm gonna stop though. I'm not gonna start the engine and do that right now because I want this RTV to cure a bit more. This is a nice shiny directions. It's like a nice bright metallic, so it reflects right back in my face. I can't read it. Surfaces should be clean and dry. Apply it, does it say on here? Allow to dry for 1 hour, then retighten. Silicone will fully cure in 24 hours. Yeah, and I don't think you don't have to wait the full 24 hours, but I do like it to, what does it say? It said we're going to double check our, don't fully tighten, but we're going to, after, what did it say? Did it say an hour? Allow to dry for 1 hour, then retighten. So, because I had a leak here once before, I don't want to heat the engine up right now and heat up that RTV. You don't have to wait the full 24 hours, in my opinion, for the RTV to fully cure before you can start this engine. But I am going to let it sit for a couple hours and let that RTV cure, and then finish topping this off with coolant. Why is it still... It's still dripping. I don't have a leak going on. That'd be terrible. Where is my flashlight? There it is. See, this is the stuff that makes me nervous, though. Like, I hear it. Yeah, like, did I dump that much out? It's like dripping all over down there. I'm like, I didn't spill that much, did I? Maybe I did. Yeah, I guess I did. Well, we're going to let this cure, and then we're going to torque it down, tighten it down, and call it good. So, yeah, I'm done. So, that was about an hour, so that's not bad. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to end the live stream here, though, because I'm going to let this cure before I continue with the burping and hooking up the battery, starting it up, hooking up the battery terminal, all that. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check out Friday's video. That'll be coming out at noon on Friday. And I will catch you guys next Wednesday. Let me check the chat one last time here real quick. And we'll call this a day. Let's see. Big difference. Whatever you say. You said my funnel was fancy. Yeah. Big difference. What's the difference? Yeah, it makes it easier. Throw the Jeep over your shoulder, pat it on the top. He said you were fancy. Yep, those fancy funnels make like 1,000% better. I do know that. Yeah, I need to buy a fancy funnel. All right, thank you guys. Have a good day.